This is you. It is the 2nd of July, 626. Dawn has not yet reached Chang'an. You stand beneath Xuanwu Gate, the northern entrance to the Tang Imperial Palace, with a spear in your hand and a blade at your waist. You are one of the least important guards on duty. You command no private troops. You hold no noble title. Whether you even return home tonight depends on when your superiors allow you to leave. But this is not an ordinary gate. Behind it lies the palace of Emperor Gaozu. Beyond it stretches the Imperial Park. Whoever controls Xuanwu Gate can decide which soldiers enter the palace and which orders leave it. On normal days, your work is simple. Inspect passes, recognize carriages, open the gate. Lower the bar today. Admitting the wrong man could cost you your head. Stopping the wrong man could place the names of your wife and children on the register of a traitor's family. The Tang Dynasty is only 8 years old. Li Shimin still sits on the throne as Emperor Gaozu. His eldest son, Li Jiancheng, is the lawful crown prince. But it is the emperor's second son, Li Shimin, the Prince of Qin, who has won many of the wars that built the dynasty. Onin brother possesses the legal right to inherit. The other possesses victories, generals, and the loyalty of hardened soldiers. Later histories will describe years of suspicion. Each side believes the other is preparing to strike first. There are stories of poison, plans to strip Li Shimin of his best troops, and accusations involving women inside the palace. You do not know which claims are true. Guards like you do not hear the secret discussions. You only see the orders that survive them. And the most dangerous moment is when two different orders both appear legitimate. Your grain comes from the emperor's stores. Your armor belongs to the palace guard. Your oath is to protect the Tang Imperial House. But the Imperial House is not one person. The Emperor, the Crown Prince, and the Prince of Qin can all send officers to this gate. Each can produce passes, seals, and reasons powerful enough to have you executed. The system teaches you obedience. It does not teach you which member of the ruling family becomes the state. When the Emperor's sons draw weapons against one another, your home lies in the southern part of Chang'an. When you left, your child was still asleep on a mat. Your wife asked you to bring back some salt after your watch. She does not know who will die today. She does not know that one hesitation inside the palace may bring officials to her door several days later. For princes, defeat means losing an empire. For you, defeat may mean 4 names from one household, written onto a confiscation order. You cannot place a safe wager in advance, and neutrality is impossible. Guarding the gate is itself a choice. Opening it, closing it, carrying a message, remaining silent, or drawing your weapon one breath, too late, can all be rewritten as loyalty or betrayal. Before the morning drum, armored men enter the area around Xuanwu Gate. Their faces are not on today's duty roster. One officer tells you not to ask questions. Another takes control of the wooden gate bar. More men disappear into the gate tower and the shadows beneath the trees. Their bows are not yet drawn, but their arrows are already within reach. You recognize some of them. They serve the Prince of Qin. There are not many of them, but these are not untrained men gathered from the streets. They have followed Li Shimin through real campaigns. They know how to occupy a passage, a stairway, and an escape route without unnecessary noise. Some watch the direction of the Imperial Park. Others secure the road leading deeper into the palace. You realize that they have not come merely to protect someone passing through Xuanwu Gate. They are turning the gate into a closing fist. Once it shuts, soldiers outside cannot see what is happening within. News from inside can leave only with the permission of the men controlling the entrance. An arrow may kill a prince, but a gate can hold back an army. The outcome today may depend not only on the bow in Li Shimin's hand, but on who possesses this heavy wooden bar. No imperial decree has removed Li Jiancheng as crown prince. No public command has identified anyone as a rebel. The only order you receive is the order in front of you. Hold the gate, remain at your post, and send no warning. If you run, you are a deserter. If you open the gate, you may be helping the crown prince suppress a coup, or allowing his soldiers to seize the palace. If you keep it closed, you may be protecting the emperor, or helping Li Shimin murder his brothers and steal the throne. For the first time, you understand that loyalty is sometimes only the name given to obedience after the winner is known. The sky begins to lighten. Hooves approach through the imperial park. Crown Prince Li Jiancheng and his younger brother Li Yanji are riding toward the palace. The emperor has summoned them. They carry bows and weapons, but they do not arrive at the head of an army. This is familiar ground. Li Jiancheng believes the palace guard still serves the established order. He has no reason to expect one prince to ambush two others at the gate of their father's palace. Li Jiancheng is not a rebel secretly entering the capital. He has been the designated heir for years. Officials address him as the crown prince, and under the existing order he is the man most likely to become the next emperor. Guards along his route are supposed to salute. Palace entrances are supposed to open for him. Everything still looks ordinary enough for him to continue forward. That is what makes the trap so brutal. No warning fires burn above the capital. No armies fill the streets of Chang'an. The emperor has announced no change in the succession. The empire appears to be operating under yesterday's rules. Only the small group around Xuanwu Gate has already begun killing, according to tomorrow's rules. You remain beside the entrance, and avoid looking at him for too long. If Li Jiancheng passes through safely, he is still the future emperor, and the armored men hiding around you are conspirators. If Li Shimin wins this morning, every guard who opens the gate for the crown prince may be remembered as a rebel. The hooves come closer. Near Linhu Hall, Li Jiancheng and Li Yuanji sense that something is wrong. They turn their horses and try to retreat east toward their own compounds. At that instant, the ambush becomes an attack. Li Shimin rides after them and calls out. Li Yuanji tries several times to draw his bow, but fails. Then Li Shimin releases an arrow. Li Jiancheng falls. There is no trial. There is no imperial decree. No court ministers stand nearby to judge the accusation. The lawful crown prince of the Tang Dynasty dies inside the palace grounds. You stare at the fallen man, but your mind still holds yesterday's titles. Crown Prince, heir, future emperor. No one can erase all of those names in the time it takes an arrow to cross the air. Yet Li Shimin's soldiers are already moving forward. They do not pause for legitimacy to catch up with reality. You cannot kneel beside Li Jiancheng or call for help. If you shout, "Protect the crown prince," you declare yourself against Li Shimin. If you shout, "Kill the rebel," you pronounce the emperor's son guilty before the emperor has issued a judgment. So you tighten your grip on the spear and remain silent. Silence appears to have no allegiance, but it still helps the men who have already acted. You hear horses screaming, armor striking armor, and men shouting that Li Yuanji is still alive. The general Yuqi Jingde arrives with mounted soldiers. Their arrows knock Li Yuanji from his horse. In the confusion, Li Shimin's horse bolts into the trees. Branches catch the rider, and the Prince of Qin falls, unable to rise. Li Yuanji rushes toward him, takes his bow, and tries to use it to choke his brother. For a few seconds, the entire future of the dynasty can still reverse. Yuqi Jingde reaches them, drives Li Yuanji away, then pursues and kills him. From the first arrow to the death of the second prince, no one has time to decide what this violence should be called. It may be the suppression of a rebellion. It may be a coup. It may simply be an ambush in which one royal brother destroys two others. You have no time to decide either. More hooves are approaching the gate. Information is breaking into contradictory fragments across the palace. One group knows only that the Prince of Qin has brought soldiers inside. Another knows only that the crown prince has disappeared. Some have seen blood on mounted men but do not know who has died. No bell announces the beginning of a coup. No banner tells every soldier which side has become lawful. Each unit can obey only the last order it received. Li Jiancheng is dead, but his authority is still riding through the palace roads. Commands from the Eastern Palace, loyalties built over years, and duties sworn to an office do not end at the same instant as a man's life. They are becoming 2,000 armored soldiers moving toward your gate. Troops from the Crown Prince's Eastern Palace and Li Yuanji's residence are coming. The chronicles describe roughly 2,000 elite men. Some have shared wine with you. One of them once covered part of your watch during a freezing rain. They do not yet know that both princes are dead. They only know that armed supporters of Li Shimin have taken control of Xuanwu Gate. Zhang Gongjin forces the heavy gate shut. The bar drops into place. You and the other guards press your shoulders against the timber. The first impact shakes the entire structure. Dust falls from the beams above and fills your eyes. Men outside order you to open the gate. They say they serve the crown prince. They shout that armed traitors have entered the palace. Men inside order you to keep it closed. They say the crown prince and Li Shimin have rebelled, and the prince of Qin is suppressing them. Both sides speak in the name of the Tang. Both sides call the other side treasonous. You lower your spear toward men who were your comrades yesterday. Jing Junghong, one of the commanders responsible for the palace guard, refuses to wait. Men around him urge caution, but he charges into the fighting. He and the officer Li Shimin are killed. Blood spreads across the ground before Xuanwu Gate. The soldiers outside continue to strike the entrance, while arrows pass through openings in the gate and descend from the tower. The Eastern Palace commander, Xuanwu, threatens to turn his forces against Li Shimin's residence. Fear spreads among the men inside. Li Shimin's brothers are dead, but the emperor has issued no command. The crown prince's army has not broken. If it captures the gate, the arrows fired moments ago will not be remembered as the punishment of rebels. They will be remembered as murder and treason. Then, you will not be rewarded for defending the palace. You will be the guard who helped a criminal prince seal its gate. Your own name is unimportant. What matters is that government registers also contain the names of your parents, your wife, and your children. The gate shakes under a second impact. Your shoulder begins to lose feeling. After the third, the hands of the guard beside you start to tremble. He asks whether the emperor has actually given an order. You cannot answer. Both of you know that if the bar breaks, the first men through the entrance will not be historians. They will be soldiers carrying blades and seeking revenge for their dead masters. An arrow lands inside the gate. A soldier collapses with both hands around his throat. Someone pulls him away, and another body immediately fills the space. No one asks whether the dead man personally supported Li Shimin or Li Jiansheng. The gate required a body to hold it, and for a few moments he became that body. Every grand argument has been reduced to a few physical facts. One wooden bar, several paces of ground, one unfinished breath, and which side runs out of men first. Through a gap, you recognize a face outside. He recognizes you as well. He does not stop striking the gate, and you do not lower your spear. You are not fighting because of a private hatred. A gate has simply placed both of you beneath different chains of command. Then Yuqi Jingde appears above the gate. He does not carry an imperial decree. He displays the severed heads of Li Jiansheng and Li Yuanji. For one moment, the shouting outside stops. The crown prince's soldiers understand that no further order will come from the men they serve. Some drop their weapons, some run. Others remain where they stand, no longer certain who deserves their loyalty. Two severed heads change the allegiance of an army faster than any written command. But the emperor is still alive. At that moment, Emperor Gaozu is boating on a palace lake. Yuqi Jingde approaches him in armor, carrying a spear. He has not come to ask the emperor what happened. He has come to announce that the crown prince and Li Yuanji have been killed, and to request an order placing all forces under Li Shimin's control. What choice remains to the emperor? Two of his sons are corpses. A third son controls the gate, the soldiers, and the flow of information. At last, a handwritten imperial order leaves the palace. All troops are to obey the Prince of Qin. Only when you hear that command do you learn whom you have been loyal to. The order does not make the earlier killings lawful after the fact. It makes continued resistance unlawful from this moment forward. Before the command arrives, the soldiers outside can still claim that they are protecting the crown prince. After it arrives, the same actions can be called defiance of the emperor. Their weapons have not changed. Their armor and memories have not changed. What changes is that formal language has finally caught up with power. Men near the gate repeat the order again and again, so that soldiers farther away can hear it. Each repetition moves Li Shimin's position one step forward, from a prince who ambushed his brother to the man authorized to command the army. You see, that victory is not completed when an enemy falls. It is completed when seals, passwords, registers, and the mouths of the living all begin to use new words. Not because you uncovered the conspiracy, not because you judged which brother would govern China more wisely. You were loyal because you held the gate long enough for the winner's order to arrive. The entrance opens again. Weapons are collected. Bodies are carried away. Water spreads the blood across the ground. Officials begin recording the dead, searching for fugitives, and changing the words used to describe the mourning. When Li Jiancheng approached the palace, he was the lawful crown prince. Now he is a rebel who has been executed. When Li Shimin placed armed men at the gate, he could still have become a failed conspirator who murdered his own brother. Now he controls the government. 3 days later, Li Shimin becomes crown prince. About 2 months later, Emperor Gaozu gives him the throne. The histories will go on to record the celebrated reign of Emperor Taizong, his advisors, his reforms, and the growing power of the Tang Empire. Those achievements are real, but other realities remain at Xuanwu Gate. Jing Junghong and Li Shihong are dead. The sons of Li Jiancheng and Li Yuanji are soon executed and removed from the imperial family register. Ordinary soldiers lay down their weapons and wait for someone else to decide whether their actions were loyalty or treason. The punishment does not fall neatly on everyone. Some men flee toward the Chang'an mountains. Some surrender their weapons. Some are later pardoned. Officers who fought for Li Jiancheng may survive, because their loyalty to their former master can be presented as a virtue. Li Shimin even retains Wei Zheng, an advisor who had urged the crown prince to remove him, and later makes use of his talent. This does not mean that the morning suddenly becomes merciful. The new order needs to prove that resistance is over. Killing every defeated man would teach the survivors that surrender offers no safety. Pardoning selected enemies helps the remaining weapons fall faster. Mercy and violence are not opposites here. They are tools used by the victor while counting what remains of the empire. You are questioned as well. You say that you merely followed orders at the gate. You did not clearly see who released the first arrow. You heard no conspiracy. You cannot remember every face that entered the tower before dawn. You shorten what you know and forget what you saw. After surviving a coup, the next necessary skill is not courage. It is knowing which memories must never be spoken aloud. Stop it, scribe. You may write that the Prince of Qin defeated a palace rebellion. You may write that Li Shimin launched a coup. You may debate which brother plotted first and which one deserved to inherit the empire. But on the morning of the 2nd of July, no one at Xuanwu Gate can see the prosperous reign that lies in the future. They can only see a closed gate. Inside stands a victor who has not yet received the emperor's order. Outside stands an army still obeying the lawful crown prince. Between them stands you, a guard with no right to choose the ruler of the empire, but no choice except to choose before the empire does. The next morning, you return to Xuanwu Gate. The tower has not changed. The bricks have not changed. The morning drum sounds at its appointed time. You inspect passes and recognize carriages, just as you did before. Your hand rests on the same wooden bar. Several of the men who held the gate beside you are missing. No grand funeral is held for them. No historian asks what they believed in their final moments. A new duty roster arrives while the ink is still fresh. Certain names have been crossed out. Certain offices have new masters. Your own name remains. That is your entire reward. You have not been erased. After your watch, you walk through the streets and buy the salt your wife requested. Merchants continue to argue over prices. Drivers curse the traffic. Many people still do not know what happened inside the palace. One of the most violent turns in a dynasty can occur before most of its subjects have eaten breakfast. By the time the news reaches them, the story already has an approved meaning. But every order that now leaves the palace serves a new master. And you finally understand that a palace gate does more than stop soldiers. It can also keep the loyalty of the defeated outside the pages of history.